We continue our week-long series investigating the border crisis, and it has become clear to me that Joe Biden's border crisis is turning more and more deadly every day. The very people that he summoned here are now dying on their dangerous journey to America. I want you to take a look at this appalling video released today by Border Patrol. In the middle of the night, smugglers scale a 14-foot wall and throw two young children, ages 3 and 5, into the middle of the New Mexico desert. Watch them drop there. It's insanity. They then run away, the smugglers do. Thankfully, Border Patrol rescued these girls. But this video is proof that the smugglers think they are in charge. They are ruthless, folks, and they're not afraid of the U.S. government, and that is Joe Biden's fault. Now, I want you to take a look at this photo. A Texas Ranger working with U.S. Border Patrol as well. He rescued a 6-month-old girl tossed into the Rio Grande near Roma, Texas, out of a smuggler's raft. Those smugglers also assaulted the infant's mother, leaving her with a broken leg. I'm sure the animals that would throw an infant into the river were trying to save their own hide and were sacrificing the little baby as a diversion to distract law enforcement from capturing them. So let me be clear about this. The migrant deaths, the drownings, the murders, the rapes, the sexual assaults of children are all due to this.
I would do as president several more things because things have changed. I would, in fact, make sure that we immediately surge to the border. All those people are seeking asylum. They deserve to be heard. That's who we are. We're a nation that says if you want to flee and you're fleeing oppression, you should come.
Joe Biden is responsible for all those deaths because of that. And yet, in meetings before Joe Biden took office, Department of Homeland Security officials warned the incoming administration that a deadly crisis would ensue if they carried out their open borders amnesty plan. Innocent lives would be lost, Joe Biden was warned. And the surge at the border would wreak havoc, not just on American life, but the lives of those making the trek to come here as well. How do we know that these warnings took place? Because those high-ranking Trump administration officials told us so. Right here on Stinchfield. They told us that they took part in those discussions themselves.
During the transition, even before, we told the Biden administration, if you do what you've done, you will create an unmitigated crisis.
We briefed them during the transition. We told them. We gave them over 24 different briefings about immigration and border security. We said, if you cancel this, you do away with these policies, this is what's going to happen.
This was totally foreseeable as part of the problem, is that, we spent time talking to folks that were advisors to the Biden presidency, to Biden himself, that warned him, if you change these policies, you can expect a surge.
Well, expect a surge is what they got. So it is clear, Joe Biden and his handlers knew what would happen. They ignored the warnings, and now the crisis is out of control. Consider what Joe Biden did, despite all those warnings, in the first week in office. He stopped border wall construction. He stopped the stay in Mexico policy. He stopped returning migrants to their home country. He stopped working with Mexico as well as Central and South American nations to discourage mass migration. By doing all of those things, here's what Joe Biden really did. He broadcast to the world a path to amnesty. But the question is, why? Why would he do all this if he'd been warned of the crisis that would rapidly unfold? Well, one reason, I believe, is to destroy inner cities, where all these migrants go, to firm up the Democrat base of operation in these little cities, creating more people reliant on government in every inner city across the country. That will ultimately vote for Democrats, is what they want, new voters. But it goes beyond that. The media will not ask the most important question here. Whose purpose is open border policies serving? We can clearly see it's not serving the migrants. If they aren't dying, they're being raped or thrown into the water off rafts. The left doesn't care about the migrants' well-being. Here is who the left does serve. Here's who Joe Biden serves: the establishment, both business and political. It provides cronies with cheap labor, all of this does, and sadly, the replacement of the U.S. workforce with a foreign workforce. I believe it's what they want. The ability to launder money through the welfare system. It's about creating chaos with the import of MS-13 gang members. The open borders have opened the door for child sex trafficking. Drugs, too. That industry is huge, it's disgusting, and it is hurting people. None of it helps Americans, which is why I believe it is all by design. It is the intentional dismantling of our nation to make the people more reliant on government and ultimately give more power to those on the left.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.